A deadline is approaching, and a search for answers reveals hundreds of business titles at once. The options seem endless, and choosing the wrong one could waste hours and yield no useful insights. The overload is real, with thousands of new books released each year, competing for attention. Under pressure, a mind needs a filter to test every claim and every promised shortcut. The stakes are practical, as most readers buy these books to solve problems, not to collect trivia. When the right idea lands, a team can change plans, stop confusion, and move with clearer priorities. In a packed workday, the easiest habit is grabbing a popular title and hoping it helps. A better approach is to choose deliberately, read with purpose, and turn one strong insight into action. Here is a simple method for selecting, reading, and applying business ideas without drowning in volume. Inspired by the 100 best business books of all time by Jack Covert, Todd Satterston, and Sally Halderson, subscribe for faster selection and reading. A business book earns its place by bridging the gap between ignorance and the need for professional advice, offering valuable insights. The process involves presenting a clear argument that transforms a complex issue into a series of more manageable decisions. Given that the cost is minimal compared to the time saved, a single practical idea can quickly repay the investment. When the idea aligns with the situation, it shifts decision-making from habitual patterns to structured methods, thereby enhancing coordination. One manager, dazzled by a flashy title, reads only a few pages and quits without applying any of the concepts. Another manager starts by defining the problem, selects a book promising a specific solution, and tests one step at a time. This contrast highlights the importance of selection as much as reading, since choosing the wrong book can waste valuable attention. A curated approach reduces distractions and ensures that effort is focused on solving problems rather than completing pages. Write your current problem in a single sentence, then seek out books that promise to address it specifically. After reading, identify the single best idea and plan a small experiment to implement it before the end of the week. Quality starts with strong argument strength, meaning the reasoning holds together and can withstand challenges without collapsing. Novelty is crucial because recycled advice rarely changes behaviour, while a fresh perspective can reignite stalled thinking. A practical test is alignment, where an idea fits with experience and avoids unrealistic success stories. The final test is usefulness, ensuring the concept can genuinely improve the business, not just sound smart. Some books feel exciting but describe theories built for a different era, making their advice ineffective today. Others rely on jargon and filler, making the core idea indecipherable when it should be simple and clear. This approach favours ideas that travel across industries, as principles endure longer than brand names. It also protects busy readers by rejecting outdated anecdotes and preferring ideas that still match modern work. Before buying, ask 4 questions about argument strength, novelty, fit with experience, and ability to improve results. If the book cannot answer these questions quickly, move on and keep searching for clearer thinking. A useful library is organised by the problems people face, not by a publisher's marketing categories. Grouping titles into sections allows a reader to start with self-improvement, then shift into leadership, strategy, or execution. This structure prevents random browsing, as the next choice follows the job at hand and the skill gap. It also makes learning cumulative, as a consistent sequence builds vocabulary and patterns across fields. One reader flips straight to a relevant section, finds a shortlist and picks the entry that matches urgency. Another gets pulled into sidebars and comparisons, discovering related ideas from films, novels, or unexpected sources. The design choice is deliberate, using browsable cues like highlighted quotes and clear headings to speed scanning. A choose your path layout supports curiosity, letting the reader jump to the next useful topic without guilt. Use the category map first, then read only the parts that address the immediate need and next decision. Subscribe to get weekly guided reading routes that turn one idea into an experiment you can run at work. Start with a recommendation, as publishers often design titles and jackets that can mislead your choices. Recommendations reduce noise, and suggestions from friends or colleagues fit better because they know your circumstances. After a recommendation, search for the promise, the clear outcome you should get for the time invested. A strong promise aligns the title, subtitle, and framing, allowing you to predict the path before diving in deeply. Scan the cover for cues, including fonts, colours, and any images that signal the book's angle. Then skim the table of contents, as a quick outline often rules out a book immediately. Treat the introduction as the key test, since it should state the challenge, the promise, and the path. If the introduction feels flat or confusing, the rest rarely improves enough to justify more attention. This method protects your calendar by shifting effort toward choosing well rather than forcing completion. Once the promise is clear, read with a pen in hand and track decisions you can apply soon. Reading works best in short blocks because attention needs time to settle, but also has a limited buffer. Set aside at least 15 minutes and avoid reading for more than 45 minutes in one stretch. Too little time leaves the mind scattered, while too much can lead to forgetting important details. If a book isn't working, stop reading. Ignore sunk costs and choose another that fits better. A reader might be 20 pages in or 200 pages in, and quitting can still be wise. The next step is connecting the dots, as context grows when multiple books are compared and contrasted. As skill improves, selection improves too, and the combination reduces disappointment across a year of reading. Lower your expectations to one good idea, then capture it in one sentence, and link it to action. Spend more time choosing, search for the promise, and consider starting at the end when the structure is clear. Create a weekly routine of choosing, reading, and applying one idea, and progress stays measurable. Business reading becomes powerful when it is treated as a system for solving problems, not a hobby. A filter protects attention, and a simple selection method keeps learning tied to decisions that matter. Start by defining the problem, then use recommendations and promises to narrow the pile quickly. Apply criteria tests for argument strength, novelty, applicability, and accessibility, ensuring the chosen idea fits real work. With categories, you can jump to the right topic, and sidebars add context without slowing progress. Short reading blocks and permission to quit keep momentum, while connecting books deepens judgment over time. Set a weekly target of one chapter and one applied step, treating the result as a small pilot. Write down the one idea you keep, then share it with a colleague and compare notes the next week. Over a year, 52 books are possible at a steady pace, but even a handful can change outcomes. Subscribe to follow structured paths through leadership strategy and management ideas, ensuring each week produces a practical decision